If you've been trading engulfing candles, pin bars, or any price pattern without looking at volume, you've been trading half a chart. Price tells you what happened. Volume tells you whether anyone meant it. Today we're not talking about motivation. We're not talking about mindset. We're talking about one specific skill that separates traders who read charts from traders who read participation. And that skill is volume analysis. By the end of this video, you'll understand three things. Why price and volume are two completely different pieces of information, not one. A mental model called effort versus result that will change how you look at every single candle. 3 volume patterns: stopping volume, buying climax, and volume divergence that show up right before major reversals, and how to actually spot them. No filler, let's get into it. Part 1. Volume versus price, why they are not the same thing. Here's the mistake almost every retail trader makes early on. They treat price as the whole story. A candle closes higher, they assume buyers are in control. A candle closes lower, they assume sellers are in control. That's true only some of the time, and the times it isn't true are exactly the times that cost people money. Price answers one question: where did the market end up? Volume answers a completely different question: how much activity did it take to get there? Think of it like this. Imagine 2 trucks arrive at the same destination at the same time. One truck got there by cruising on an open highway. The other got there by fighting through gridlock traffic the entire way. Same result, same destination. Completely different amount of effort. If you only look at did the truck arrive, you learn nothing about the road conditions. Volume is what tells you about the road conditions. In market terms, volume is the number of shares, contracts, or lots traded in a given period. It's the only data point on your chart that tells you about participation. How many market participants were actually involved in creating that price move? Why this distinction matters. Let's say a stock moves up $2 on a given day. That fact alone tells you almost nothing. Now add volume. Case A. The stock moves up $2 on 500,000 shares, which is roughly its 20-day average volume. This is a normal move. Nothing structurally significant happened. It's just price drifting on typical participation. Case B. The stock moves up $2 on 4 million shares, 8 times average. Now you're looking at something different. A large amount of capital moved into this name in one session. That's information. Institutions don't casually deploy that kind of size. Something changed. A catalyst, a shift in perception, accumulation. Same $2 move. 2 completely different meanings. If you were only reading price, both days would look identical on your chart. Volume is what separates noise from signal. A real-world style case study. Take a hypothetical mid-cap industrial stock trading around $40. For 3 weeks, it grinds up half a point at a time on light, unremarkable volume. Nobody's paying attention. Then, on a Tuesday, it jumps $3 in a single session on volume 5 times its average. Financial media doesn't have a headline yet. There's no earnings report. But the volume already told you. Someone with information or capital conviction just committed hard. 2 weeks later, the earnings report comes out, and it's strong. The move already happened before the news became public knowledge to the broader market. This is the core reason professional volume analysts say volume often leads price. Large participants tend to act before the reason for their action becomes visible to everyone else. The core principle to take away from part 1. Never read a candle in isolation. Every price move you look at should immediately trigger the question: what volume produced this? A rally on shrinking volume is fragile. A rally on expanding volume is structurally different, even if the price chart looks identical. This single habit, checking volume before drawing a conclusion from price, is the foundation everything else in this video is built on. Part 2. The effort versus result mental model. This concept comes out of classical volume-based technical analysis, most associated with Richard Wyckoff's work from the early 20th century, and it's still the cleanest mental framework for reading any chart on any asset in any time frame. The model is simple to state and hard to master. Volume represents effort. Price movement represents result. In a healthy market, effort and result agree with each other. When effort and result disagree, that disagreement is often the first warning sign of a change in trend. Let's break that down with a framework you can literally apply candle by candle. Effort and result agree. High volume plus large price move equals effort matches result. The market worked hard and got somewhere. This is normal, healthy trend behavior, whether up or down. Low volume plus small price move equals effort matches result. Nobody tried hard, nothing happened. Also normal. This is a quiet, low conviction session. Neither of these situations is a warning sign on its own. They're the market behaving the way you'd expect. Effort and result disagree. This is where you pay attention. High volume plus small price move. This is the big one. A huge amount of shares changed hands and the market barely moved. Massive effort, minimal result. Ask yourself, if all this buying or selling pressure hit the tape and price barely responded, what does that tell you about the other side of the trade? It tells you there's a wall of opposing supply or demand absorbing everything being thrown at it. Something is fighting the move, and so far, winning. Low volume plus large price move. This is the opposite anomaly. Price traveled a long distance with very few participants involved. This often signals a lack of real conviction behind the move. It can be a stop hunt, a low liquidity gap, an after-hours anomaly, or a move that's likely to get reversed the moment normal volume returns to the market. Case study: the absorption day. Picture a stock in a clear uptrend, making new highs every week. One day, volume comes in at triple the recent average, a clear effort spike. But by the close, the stock is up only 12 cents. Compare that to a normal day in the same uptrend, where the stock moves 80 cents on regular volume. That single triple volume 12-cent day is effort without result. Somebody was selling into that demand aggressively, enough to absorb 3 times the normal buying pressure and still cap the price. That is frequently the fingerprint of institutional distribution. Large holders using retail enthusiasm and momentum to exit positions quietly without crashing the price and giving away their intentions. A trader who only looks at price sees still in an uptrend, no big deal. A trader applying effort versus result sees a caution flag that says the character of this move has changed, even though the trend line hasn't broken yet. Why this model works across every time frame and every asset. This isn't specific to stocks. It applies to futures, forex volume proxies, crypto order flow, and options open interest analysis. The underlying logic, effort should produce a proportional result, and when it doesn't, someone is on the other side absorbing it, is a structural truth about how markets are built, not a pattern that only exists in one asset class. Part 3. 3 volume patterns every trader should recognize. Now we apply the framework. These 3 patterns are direct products of the effort versus result model, and they show up repeatedly at major turning points. Pattern 1. Stopping volume. Definition. Stopping volume is a sudden, dramatic spike in volume that appears after an extended move in one direction, where price fails to continue and instead reverses sharply within the same session or the next. How to identify it? A prior trend has been in place for a meaningful stretch, days or weeks. Volume suddenly expands to 2, 3, or more times the recent average. Instead of accelerating the trend, price stalls and often prints a long wick or a reversal candle. Why it happens. Stopping volume typically marks the point where the dominant force behind the trend, sellers in a downtrend, buyers in an uptrend, finally meets an equal and opposite force large enough to halt the move. In a downtrend, this often represents large buyers stepping in to absorb panic selling. It's the market's version of hitting a wall after a long run. Case study. Consider a stock that has fallen from $80 to $55 over 6 weeks on a fairly steady, orderly decline. On the 7th week, it gaps down to $50 on panic, and volume comes in at 6 times average. But instead of closing near the lows, the stock reverses intraday and closes at $54, near the day's high. That combination, the biggest volume of the entire decline, paired with a sharp intraday reversal, is a textbook stopping volume signature. It doesn't guarantee the bottom is in permanently, but it tells you the character of selling pressure has been absorbed, at least temporarily, and caution is warranted for anyone still short. Pattern 2. Buying climax. Definition. A buying climax is the mirror image at the top of an uptrend, a sharp, high-volume price spike after a sustained rally, often on emotional, retail-driven buying, followed by a failure to hold the highs. How to identify it? Price has been in an uptrend for weeks or months, often accelerating in its final stage, the classic parabolic move. A single session or short cluster of sessions sees volume explode to multiples of average, often coinciding with a news catalyst, an earnings beat, or heavy media attention. Price makes a new high on that volume, then fails to hold it, closing well off the day's high or reversing hard the next session. Why it happens. By the time a rally becomes visible enough to attract this kind of extreme volume, it usually means the move has become widely known and heavily participated in by less informed, later arriving buyers. That's precisely the environment in which earlier, larger holders look to distribute their positions, selling into strength while there's enough demand to absorb it without collapsing the price immediately. Case study. Consider a stock that runs from $20 to $95 over 4 months, with the final $30 of that move happening in just the last 8 trading days, the classic blow-off acceleration. On the final day, it opens at $95, spikes intraday to $110 on volume 10 times the stock's 3-month average, then closes the day at $88, below the previous day's close. The headline the next morning calls it a huge up-day intraday, but the volume and the failed close tell the real story. This was distribution, not the start of a new leg higher. Pattern 3. Volume divergence. Definition. Volume divergence occurs when price makes a new high, or low, but the volume accompanying that new high, or low, is noticeably lower than the volume that accompanied the previous high, or low, in the same trend. How to identify it? Compare successive swing highs, or lows, within the same trend. If each new price extreme is being made on progressively lighter volume, participation is thinning even as price technically continues in the trend's direction. Why it happens. A healthy trend should, in general, attract increasing or at least stable participation as it progresses and gains attention. When each new high requires less and less volume to achieve, it suggests the pool of buyers willing to push price further is shrinking. The trend is coasting on inertia and a smaller group of participants rather than expanding conviction. Case study. A stock makes a swing high at $60 on 2 million shares. 3 weeks later, it makes a new high at $64, technically a stronger price outcome, but on just 900,000 shares. 3 weeks after that, it inches to a marginal new high of $65 on only 500,000 shares. Price is still making new highs, which looks bullish on a simple price chart. But volume has fallen by more than 75% across those 3 highs. This is a classic bearish volume divergence. The trend's price structure looks fine, but its participation structure is deteriorating. This is frequently a leading indicator that the trend is running out of the fuel it needs to continue. Putting all 3 patterns together. Notice that all 3 patterns are direct applications of the same underlying principle from Part 2. Watch for effort and result disagreeing. Stopping volume and buying climax are both effort without continuation events, massive volume that fails to produce a proportional continuation of the trend. Volume divergence is the slow motion version, result technically continuing, while effort quietly fades in the background. Once you see the common thread, these 3 patterns stop being 3 things to memorize and become 1 thing to recognize in different forms. Close. 3 things to walk away with today. Price tells you where the market ended up. Volume tells you how much conviction was behind it. Never read one without the other. Effort versus result is the lens. When volume and price move in proportion, the trend is healthy. When they disagree, pay attention. That disagreement is often the first data point of a change in character. Stopping volume, buying Climax, and volume divergence are the three most reliable, repeatable signatures of that disagreement, and they show up across every asset class and every time frame. This is analytical work, not prediction. Volume analysis doesn't tell you the future with certainty. It tells you where the balance of effort and result currently sits, and where that balance is shifting. That's a meaningful edge if you apply it with discipline. If you found this useful, the next video in this series will cover how to build a simple volume-based checklist you can apply to any chart in under 60 seconds.